At 8:30 p.m. on the 23rd of March 2020, Boris Johnson announced a stay-at-home order effective immediately, and what Airbnb did afterwards was despicable, but a very valuable lesson for my serviced accommodation business. 471 cancellations and over 150k in lost revenue. A platform I heavily relied on for my business just shafted me overnight. I was in shock. I panicked like mad, but once the dust settled, I knew I had to become less reliant on Airbnb. Fast forward 3 years, and year to date, 2023, my direct booking game stands at 74.3%. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how I achieved this in 5 simple steps. Before we dive into the strategies, let's take a step back and look at why you need to focus on this element of your serviced accommodation business. Airbnb, Booking.com, and all the other online travel agents are great for starting your short-term rental business. There is no doubt about that. They give you an advertising platform to advertise your product, and you only pay for their services when you get paid, making it a very easy way to enter the market. Especially if we compare this to other businesses where you have to buy the product, spend money on marketing, in the hope that someone buys it at a higher price. If you don't sell it, you are at a loss. Yes, we can lose money running an Airbnb property, but for the sake of this video, let's keep the focus on marketing spend. The problem with this free marketing catch Airbnb and the likes hook you in with is it's like a drug. Once you are signed up, it's very easy to become lazy and you just keep collecting bookings through their website and paying them a chunky commission. And you can never get off the drug unless you try really hard. Something most hosts simply can't be bothered to do or don't have the knowledge to do it. The good news for you is by the end of this video, I'm going to have given you the knowledge and hopefully you'll put in the effort, as I can't do that bit for you. Next, we have the rising commissions and sneaky discounts these OTAs run behind your back. Did you know Airbnb give vouchers away to guests and they can use them on any booking value of any property in the world and you can do nothing about it? Did you know Booking.com will discount your properties and enter you into their programs without you even knowing, or even if you have previously turned them off? The more dominant these platforms become and the more hosts rely on them, the more their commissions are going to increase. As so many hosts are lazy and rely on these platforms, this is inevitable over the next few years. I predict by 2030, Airbnb and Booking.com will be charging hosts 30% on every single booking. To compete on Booking.com now, you really need to have your visibility booster at 20%, so we're not too far away. When you take a booking through OTAs, you are at the mercy of their insane refund policies. AirCover is the most ridiculous policy I have ever come across, and hosts are blowing thousands, tens of thousands, millions collectively by allowing Airbnb to decide if a guest can have a refund during or after their stay because of the most ridiculous things. Guests have cottoned onto this and book for a free stay as they know how to exploit their policies. And the great thing is, you can do sweet fuck all about it. If Airbnb rule in their favor, which they will, then you will not only have to refund them, they usually penalize you as well, and just to really kick you in the nuts as they have already stayed already, you're swallowing the loss and you can't resell the nights. Cheers. And let's be honest, Booking.com are no better. By improving your direct bookings, you are in full control. You decide if there is a genuine reason for a refund or compensation. You can take a deposit off a customer's credit card for damages without the fear of a bad review, which will affect your ranking on the booking site. Yes, when you submit an AirCover claim for damages, the guest can then write a review, and of course it will be a bad one, and Airbnb will post it. Insane. You see, the OTA's customer is the guest, not us hosts. So they build their policies and platforms to secure the guest booking, as that's where they earn their money. And there's only one guest looking to book one property, which is listed across 5 or more websites. So those websites know they have to do their best to capture that booking so they get their commission and their competitor doesn't. If you don't get away from these channels, you haven't really got a business. You have a job and you work for the OTAs, and you will always be riding a roller coaster of income as they decide what position your property will be listed. If they change the search criteria algorithms like Airbnb did not so long ago and everyone's views per listings plummeted, you can go from a profitable property to an unprofitable one. If your review score unfairly tanks because a guest smashes your place up and you rightfully requested money from them, your revenue will suffer. The odds are stacked against you long term if you rely on the OTAs for more than 25% of your annual bookings. So how do we come off the drug? Let me show you what I have done to achieve 74.3% direct booking game. First up, SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, and is a strategy that you need to implement into your business if you're going to get bookings like this directly through your website on a regular basis to ensure you're not paying Airbnb commissions like this every time you get a booking. SEO is a complex strategy, and in time, I would encourage you to employ a marketing team to run your brand development and SEO. But for now, let's look at the basics so you can start improving your website visibility and capturing those bookings. Keywords: What are they? A keyword is what someone would type into Google when searching for accommodation. So firstly, you want to make a list of keywords that you think your ideal guest will type into a search engine when looking for your type of accommodation in your area. For example, we host a lot of tradesmen in the UK, so they would type into Google something like trade stays Newcastle. We identified this as a keyword and put a lot of work around the words, and as such, if we go to Google now and type in trade stays Newcastle, you will see that my website ranks very high in the search, meaning we stand a good chance of a tradesman clicking on our website. And as we target this type of guest in this location, we have suitable properties for them, a high converting website, plenty of trust signals for them to feel comfortable booking, and therefore we stand a good chance of securing the booking. By the time you're finished your list, you are going to have hundreds of keywords, and to start with, you want to target the ones providing the most searches on a monthly basis. So to find this out, you can use Google Keyword Analyzer or paid tools like SEMrush. Narrow down the top 20-30 keywords that will bring you the most traffic, and then we're going to write blogs around those keywords, as well as ensuring our website pages are packed with keywords as well. Thanks to ChatGPT, you can write blogs within seconds by giving it clear instructions, and then you tweak to suit and get them posted. Blogging is something you need to be doing regularly and posting on your website, as Google will crawl your website for fresh content every day, and the more keywords on your website, the higher up the search engines you will go. The next thing you need to be doing is trying to get as many backlinks to your website as you can, ideally for those keywords. What is a backlink, you ask? In basic terms, a backlink is when another website mentions your website. For example, if a newspaper runs a piece on your website and they mention your domain name, and then that article talks about the keywords you are trying to target, then this is going to really help boost your website's visibility in the search engines. You want to try and get as many backlinks to external websites as you can, and you do this by offering to write articles for other websites, running backlink exchanges, and trying to get other websites to talk about your business as much as you can. By doing this on a consistent basis, your website will start to attract more traffic, and your chances of getting direct bookings through your website will improve massively over time. But there is no point driving traffic to a website that doesn't convert, just like I found out several years ago. Yes, I did all of the above and the traffic was flowing in, but we still weren't getting any bookings. This brings me on to my next key strategy, building a converting website. Yes, you can have a fancy looking website with lots of pretty images and boxes, but if no one books, it is completely useless. You are better to have an ugly, high converting website than one that is aesthetically pleasing and doesn't bring a penny in. Now, I'm not saying you need to design an ugly site. I'm saying you need to find out what works and what doesn't and tweak it. And you can do this using a tool called Mouseflow. Mouseflow allows you to watch what users are doing on your website, how far they are scrolling, what they are clicking on, when are they exiting, and this is all valuable information. We watched thousands of sessions before building our high converting website and continue to watch sessions now so we can be continually improving. Trust or lack of is one of the biggest reasons someone won't book with you. Why does a guest book with Airbnb? They are a known brand, they have a guarantee for guests if things aren't right with their stay, they protect their money and make it easy for them to book and pay through secure channels. They trust them. If you can't build trust with a guest, they will not book through your website. Once I figured the traffic problem out and then the conversion problem, we still weren't getting bookings through the website. And what I mean by this is the full customer journey from searching the keywords, landing on the site, finding the perfect place, and then booking through the site. Instead, we were doing all the hard work, and then they were calling my team and booking rather than going through the site. This means we can potentially lose sales if we are not available. We might not say the right thing on the call and lose the booking. And it means I needed more staff to handle the inquiries, which means less profit as my costs go up. So why weren't they booking? Why did they click to call or WhatsApp instead? I wasn't building enough trust throughout the journey. So I implemented Stay Cover. Sound familiar? Yes, very much like Airbnb's Air Cover, it gives the guest a reason to feel safe booking with us. They get a flexible cancellation policy, refunds if we mess up, and security that we will have a property available when they arrive. However, this wasn't good enough to get them to convert. I still had a piece of the puzzle missing. It's all well and good me saying that they can have these things, but anyone can say what they want, and quite often people don't deliver. So there still isn't the full trust between the guest and booking direct. After scratching my head for a while and thinking about what I do when I look for something, I realized that I needed a guarantee and social proof. After looking at my Google reviews, they were good, but I hardly had any, so I put an incentive in play with the team to capture more Google reviews. I still had no traction on the bookings. Before throwing my toys out the pram, I spoke to one of my mentors and they took a look at the site. After a few days analysing it, they came back with a list of trust signals that weren't there. We weren't telling the guests enough how trustworthy we were, and we didn't have an iPrac badge. This was a game changer, and it unlocked the months of hard work. The investment in the new site and the bookings started to come in. The addition of a third-party trust signal, iPrac, who effectively act as an insurance policy for the guest in that if they book and the property isn't available or they have been scammed, they will ensure they are put back to the same financial position, meant the guest could now trust us to enter their card details on our secure 3D Stripe account, which was linked to our website, and the bookings started to flow. I cracked the guest journey from typing a keyword into Google to a direct booking on my website without the need for a human to intervene. A great place to be and something we continue to improve on, and the bookings keep rolling in. Next up is brand development. This is something you need to work on constantly, and as Grant Cardone once told me, if you can't get yourself out of obscurity, then you will never sell anything. You need to be omnipresent. Everywhere your ideal avatar looks, your brand needs to be there. Now, this is easier said than done with an unlimited amount of money to spend on marketing, but I have done it with very little cost and only time invested. You see, consistency in business tends to win the race over time. However, most people want instant gratification these days, and when they don't see the results straight away, they give up. One social media post that gets to 25 people can win you a direct booking worth tens of thousands of pounds. You don't need a massive audience. You just need to have good content on a consistent basis that speaks to your ideal avatar, i.e. a contractor looking to book accommodation or an agency with a contract to fulfill. Put a content plan together by looking what works for other brands competing in the same space. If their content has gone viral, there's a good chance that yours will too. If something catches your eye when scrolling, save it to a Trello board and repurpose the content to suit your business, as if it caught your eye, there's a good chance it will catch someone else's eye who could just be your ideal client. Post daily, a minimum of 1 post per social media channel per day, and don't think about the result. Use the result to know if you need to double down on the content and track the analytics to see if it is converting business, but keep posting even if your numbers aren't great. The return on your time invested and even hiring a video producer from Fiverr is greatly returned by 1 or 2 bookings. And you will get them if you do this consistently, as people will start to know who you are and what you do, and more importantly, how you can help them. The final strategy ties in nicely with the above to an extent, but also has an exclusive tip which I don't see many hosts thinking about. There are agencies out there who broker deals between contractors and hosts. They don't want the risk or hassle of a serviced accommodation business, so they just play the middleman. They generate leads and partner up with contractor firms, and then they go out and source the properties for the contract. They make a margin on every booking, and it's a win-win for everyone involved. Now, these agencies like to work with one company in an ideal world, and they often require a lot of rooms. As such, you want to be building a portfolio in one area with large freehold houses outside of the city centres if you want to attract these sort of bookings. And let me tell you, looking at the financial of these bookings, you definitely want to be attracting these bookings. They typically last 4 to 7 months. They hardly ever require turnovers compared to a 2-3 night minimum stay strategy. And once the guests are in, they're really low maintenance. So once you have a portfolio of properties, you can start reaching out to these contractor broker agencies. Just Google them, and if they have their SEO keywords game set up right, they will come up. And reach out to them to tell them what you have, put your stock on their books, and make sure you reach out regularly to them. Bookings from these agencies don't just happen by listing your stock. It's like anything in property. You have to build a relationship with these agencies. Touch base all the time. Ask if you can help on anything. Even if you don't have a huge portfolio, you can be a broker of a deal. We still do a bit of this on the very big contracts we get. If we can't facilitate the entire deal with all of our stock because some might be taken, or we might just not have enough because the contract is so big, we'll reach out to our other trusted competitors who we know do a good job and have nice properties and cut them in on the deal. So you do have an outbound strategy here by contacting agencies, and an inbound one by marketing your ass off and getting yourself out of obscurity so that agencies see your content and contact you. Listen, there is no magic website that's going to get you direct bookings. Or is there? If you have watched any of my other videos recently, especially my 4-hour free training course, you will have heard me talking about open rent. Now we can use that to not only find properties for rent-to-rent deals, but also to get some huge direct bookings. My personal experience with this, the large properties work a lot better than this strategy, but for the sake of 29 quid for 3 months worth of advertising, it's worth putting any property size on. Certainly for the larger properties with good keyword descriptions, you'll get inquiries on, and if you have a good sales team that is responsive, then you will convert these into long-term, high-value bookings. You notice I said keywords. Keywords are not just for your website ranking. Google will rank every website that's online on a daily basis and search for the keywords that your ideal client types in. If you have your keyword hot list written into your website, Airbnb descriptions, open rent descriptions, etc., you stand a very good chance of ranking when they hit search and get that all-important booking. As always, thanks for watching. Please share this with at least one person who will find it useful. Subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the description for important links that could help your journey further. If you're still with me, watch this video next.